So here's the deal. You're not lazy. You're not falling behind. You're operating under pressure that isn't even yours. Your undefined root center creates a constant sense of urgency, like there's a ticking clock that you can't see, but you feel it, and it's running your life. Today's episode is for you high-achieving women who wonder why you're always exhausted, resentful, and yet you're still adding more to your damn to-do list. I'm Suzanne Arjona, and this is Life on Your Terms, where human design meets bold truth and permission to be real. You've played the role, you did what was expected, and now it's time to show up as you. So you say you've sworn off the hustle lifestyle. Maybe you've even rearranged your whole life to escape the grind. And yet that urgent feeling is still in your bones. Like if you stop moving for too long, everything's gonna fall apart. Or maybe you haven't left the hustle yet. Maybe you're still neck deep in it, pushing, producing, holding it all together, and some part of you knows that this isn't sustainable, but you can't see a way out yet. This urgency that you're feeling is a quiet addiction. It's a self-made pressure, and it's coming from somewhere deeper than your to-do list. It's coming from your root center. Okay, that little square at the bottom of your human design chart is a pressure center, not an energy source. And its only job is to push you, to drive you towards action. Okay? Now, if your root center is defined, and remember, we talked about defined centers. They're shaded in on your chart. If your root center is defined, you've got a consistent access to that pressure. Okay, you have a sort of tolerance for it. It's manageable for you for the most part. But if it's undefined, okay, if it's unshaded or white on your chart, you're absorbing and amplifying everybody else's urgent feelings. And you're trying to manage all of it like it's your job. Okay? Now, you've probably tried to break out of the hustle culture. You know, you've done the healing, the sabbatical, the planners. But if you don't understand where that pressure is coming from, you're just rearranging the burnout. Okay? Different schedule, same nervous system. You're still wired for urgency that isn't even yours. Okay, so what does this look like in real life? When you have an undefined root center, you feel like you need to earn the right to get some rest. But no matter how much effort you put in, or how much you do, how many things you check off of your to-do list, the finish line never shows up. Okay? You end up overcommitting yourself. You can't relax if there's still something to do on the list. You feel guilty when you do stop to rest. Okay, are you guys feeling this? I know I do because, that's part of how I'm wired. I have that undefined root center as well. Okay, now you've likely researched why you feel this way, and you've tried all the fixes. Okay, you've tried to be more calm, you've tried to be more organized, but nothing works. So it's time to look deeper. To look beyond the symptoms to literally the root cause. So, as I mentioned, with that open root center in your human design chart, you're taking in everybody else's stress. You're taking in everybody else's pressure and urgency in addition to all your own stuff. You feel everyone's stress as if it were yours, and you try to solve it all so that you can finally relax. You're taking in pressure from work, family, the social media influencers who are promoting all this hustle and grind vibe, and you're probably even dealing with childhood trauma around being productive. You're just trying to reach the finish line. But the question is, whose finish line are you running towards? So how do you escape the endless hustle loop? How do you finally devise an exit strategy? Well, there are a few shifts that you can try. you can practice pausing before jumping into action. Okay, this is where you might ask yourself, is this my problem to solve? Do I need to complete this task, or is it someone else's? Okay, you could ask yourself, do I need to do this right now? Can it wait? Or am I just reacting to the pressure of getting it done in the moment? Okay. You can set firm limits on when your day ends. Now, this is a big deal for those of us who are self-employed. We tend to get into this mode of being on 24/7. Your business is always on your mind. So when you can give yourself permission to carry over items to the next day or the next week, that takes some pressure off of today. Okay, that's a big boundary. That's a big limit that you need to set. You can try recalibrating your nervous system. You know, we've been wired to go, go, go and do so much more. But things like breath work, slow movement like yoga or Tai Chi, slow walks, all of these can help that addiction to speed. And that's really what it is. It's an addiction. Okay. And finally, know your design. And I'm talking about your human design. Some energy types are designed to hustle more than others. Okay. If you're a projector or a reflector, for example, you need to stop measuring yourself against generator types who are designed for that high energy and fast movement. This hustle culture is something that we're meant to grow out of as a society. And I say we because I also have that undefined root, as I mentioned. I'm not here to perfect the grind and show you how to make it work. Part of my line 6 purpose is to model the way out. My purpose, part of my purpose anyways, is to go through all of this and at this later stage in my life, hopefully be the example to set so that others can find their way out. But there are times when I slip back into it too. Okay, that pressure is sneaky. It shows up sounding like your life purpose or like productivity. It's just one more thing. But if you're here, maybe you're starting to feel that too. You're not here to keep chasing, and neither am I. You're here to notice the pressure, notice what isn't yours, and choose something different. So if this episode hit that hidden nerve you thought nobody else saw, especially the one that keeps whispering, you're not doing enough, maybe it's time to dig into your design. Grab your chart or book a reading with me and start peeling back those layers. So that's it for the show today. If this episode sparked something, share it with a friend who's also tired of outrunning their own nervous system. And if you're ready to look at your own human design with fresh eyes, you know where to find me. The links are in the show notes. I'll catch you next time, and until then, trust your design and live life on your terms.